Hi, welcome to the Badass Breastfeeding Podcast. This is Dianne, your lactation consultant and mother of 3. Nathan is 26 and the twins, Jess and Brandon, are 23. And I am a lactation consultant for almost about 20 years now. And almost 20 years, 18 years, but working in the field for 20 because it takes a long time to become a lactation consultant.
Yeah.
And maternal child health expert. And that's me.
Yes, you are. Expert all around. And I'm Abby, the badass breastfeeder. And I have Jack, who's 15, and Exley, who is 12. And Exley is officially a football player, I guess. He's doing
Loving it.
Good. He loves it.
Love it.
He's had a couple of rough days where because he started playing football. Like, listen, people usually watch football and they're like, oh, I want to play football, or they play pickup games in the park, and they're like, I'm really interested in this. Exley was interested in tackling and being tackled. Like, he craves that kind of contact, doesn't know a lick of football. So I was even just like randomly explaining something in like the line of scrimmage, and he was like, "What's this line of scrimmage?" And I'm like, okay. So like there's a couple of like drills and stuff that they do at practice where he's like, I don't know what's going on. And he was like getting frustrated and kind of, whatever. But he like worked through it. And I told the coaches, I said, he doesn't know a damn thing about football. So you have to start from scratch here. He even went up to a coach and he was like, what's offense and defense? And the coach goes, what do you mean? And he's like, what's the difference? And so he was explaining it. And I mean, like, I find it is confusing a little bit in football because like, it's totally like, I guess it's not just football, but it's like different, like a whole different team, when there's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't know anything about football either. I've learned more about football in the past 2 weeks than I've ever in my whole entire life. Anyway, that's me. I'm a social worker. And today's episode is brought to you by Original Sprout, who make our favorite earth and body friendly body and shower products. And Cake Maternity, who makes the beautiful nursing wear of pumping and nursing bras. And we will hear more from our sponsors later, but you can head to badassbreastfeedingpodcast.com. If you ever need anything, see if you can give them your business because they make this podcast possible. While you're there, scroll down and enter your email address and we'll send episodes straight to your inbox every week. We are also on Patreon, and we would love to see you over in our judgment-free private community where we house our Revolution Parenting podcast. We have another podcast. But the only way to hear that podcast is in Patreon. We talk about parenting, all the parenting topics, discipline, attachment parenting, boundaries, all kinds of things. And you can head to the link at the top of the show notes under this episode, wherever you're listening from, and choose a tier that looks good to you. We're also still hosting our ongoing giveaway for people who leave reviews around the internet, like Spotify or iTunes. Take a screenshot of your review, send it to badassbreastfeedingpodcast@gmail.com, and we will send you a goodie bag of thank you for nursing in public cards and podcast stickers, which is also one of the things on the Patreon tier is actually getting a goodie bag every month.
Yeah.
Also, if you have breastfeeding photos that you wouldn't mind me sharing on social media, I would love for you to send those along to the same email address. Also send your address because we'll send you a goodie bag for the photo as well. And now Dianne has our review of the week.
And this came through Buzzsprout. I have been in the perinatal education field for over 20 years, and I love listening and learning from you guys. I've been listening to the breast milk and cavities conversation lately, and I just wanted to also throw in there that there is some thought that individual oral microbiomes can be a contributing factor to cavities and overall dental health. Dysbiosis is more important than sugar, and we know that breast milk is protective biological fluid, period.
Mm-hmm.
thank you so much for that. And we were kind of talking a little bit about that when you were saying that the dentist told Josh that he had good
good saliva
or whatever, good saliva.
Good saliva
yeah.
or something. I'm like, okay.
So it's a very good point. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that with us and for listening.
Yes, that's awesome. And we were running our 500 episode giveaway, and we have a winner, which is very exciting. She's going to be winning that giant package that, or she did win. She's going to be getting 1 million packages to her house, and her name is Raina Trumpet. So congratulations to Raina Trumpet in New York. I hope you enjoy. And this week is the second week of Breastfeeding Awareness Month. And this is Indigenous Milk Medicine Week from August 8th to August 14th, which celebrates Native breastfeeding experiences. So actually, if you go on Instagram and you search hashtag Indigenous Milk Medicine Week, you'll get all of these posts of information about like the history of Native breastfeeding and beautiful photos, which everybody knows I love all the photos. So yeah, that's
pretty cool. Yeah.
And today we're talking about breastfeeding at 6 weeks.
Yeah, breastfeeding at the 6-week mark.
I feel like that's kind of a milestone.
It really is a milestone. And I remember when I was first working in lactation, one of the lactation consultants that I used to work with at the hospital, I remember her saying that she felt like 6 weeks was kind of like the turning point, for people that were struggling a little bit or for babies that just weren't getting it. And that 6 weeks tends to be like that sweet spot. But there's a lot going on at 6 weeks. So we just wanted to talk about it and kind of put it into perspective a little bit. And maybe some of you have already been to 6 weeks and passed it and said, oh yeah, I remember all of this. And maybe some of you are getting close to it, but you can feel like things are getting easier, but then also other things are getting harder. So there's a lot of stuff happening. So let's start talking about the first piece of it. And that is where you might find that you're not getting as much support. And, when you first have a baby, let's face it, you first have a baby, people are coming out of the woodwork to come over to you.
Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah.
And bring you things and bring you food and help you. And your partner hopefully is home. By 6 weeks, everybody's gone.
Yeah.
And you might feel a little bit more isolated. People are expecting you to feel more confident and oh, you're 6 weeks, you got this, but you might be feeling a little bit more isolated, a little bit more alone because you just don't have that support that you did when you first came home from the hospital.
And those doctor's appointments are starting to get farther apart.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they're very helpful all the time, but
no, but it's like that
less
check-in.
People that you're seeing. Yeah.
Less people that you're seeing. And in the beginning, you are at your pediatric office, the
constantly.
First, when you first get home from the hospital and then maybe another time that same week and then maybe at 2 weeks and then maybe at a month. And and that is if things are going smooth, you're there that much. If it's not going smooth or the baby's not gaining or something, you're there more frequently than that even. But you're not doing that as much anymore. So it really can feel like, where is everybody? And I remember with my twins at 2 weeks, my mother was like, all right, you got to figure it out for yourself. This is your thing.
Jeez.
I'm not coming over anymore. So it is kind of feeling very isolated. So try and, I don't even know how to make that better. You know what I mean? I don't even know how to tell you that that's gonna to make that better. Try to get out, try to find a breastfeeding group or a mom group or something like that where you can find some friends and mom friends and other people who are doing what you're doing.
Yeah, even online, like find a Facebook group and just talk to people. Don't take their advice, but just be like, there's people that'll like these Facebook groups. They're like, people can chat about stuff in the middle of the night if you're awake. And I know I had like a lot of like online friends that I was just like typing with,
Yeah. Yeah. That can really be helpful.
And go outside and like recognize open the windows. Your baby does not need to be in darkness all day. Like open the windows, make sure you're like seeing the daylight. Because it can be, it's really hard. It's a really weird time.
It is. And some people are getting ready to go back to work at 6 weeks.
Ugh.
So if you're one of those people who are like, okay, I got to get ready to get back to work, like this is a completely different aspect for you.
Yeah.
You're pumping, you're getting yourself ready for work, you're figuring out like your work clothes and how to pump in your work clothes and all sorts of stuff that's going on. So it can be a little bit of a difficult period of time for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But when we talk about your milk supply, your milk production is starting to become a little bit more regulated. And a lot of people feel like their breasts are a little bit softer at this point. So this is when we hear a lot of like, do I still have milk?
Mm-hmm.
That I don't feel full anymore. I'm not feeling like I'm not leaking as much in between feeds. Like that is normal. That is normal. And
that's good. You don't want to feel that like hard, overly full feeling. That's not good.
Yeah, no, this means that your supply is adjusting to what the baby needs. And that's all really good sign that things are working. So don't worry about whether or not like, oh my God, my milk is drying up, because it's not. You're just adapting to your supply, which is perfect. That's exactly what we want to happen. So now your baby, when they're feeding, you might find that they're a little bit more efficient, which is really nice. They're not doing 30-minute feeds anymore. They might be doing 10 or 15-minute feeds. They are awake for a little bit longer, which is also nice. You get a little playtime with your baby. They're not like the sack of potatoes.
You're getting to know their personality a little bit.
Yeah, they're starting to smile a little bit. Maybe they're cooing a little bit. They might have some longer stretches between feeds, not as much at 6 weeks, but maybe at night there's longer stretches, but then some cluster feeding is probably still happening as well. So you can expect to see those cluster feeds. Parents a lot of times will be wondering, like, is my baby done? Why is it not taking as long for them to feed? We're not spending all day feeding anymore. That is normal. They should be getting more efficient at this age. That is what we want for them to be, and we want for you. The other thing that you might be finding is they're getting a little bit stronger, like they're getting their head and neck is a little bit stronger, and their latch is a little bit easier and better because of that strength. So for a baby that maybe wouldn't do certain positions, you might find that you can do certain positions with them. Maybe you can just put them in a cradle position very easily, or nurse them in a carrier, because they have better head and neck control at this age too. So you can do a little bit more manipulating of how they're latching, which is really nice if you are out in public and you want to nurse them in a carrier, or you want to just put them in cradle position. They can do that at this age.
Yeah.
Now, you also might see some growth spurts around this age, which growth spurts, remember there was a thing like not that long ago, somebody put out that, like, I think there was a research study saying that growth spurts weren't really a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I still don't really buy that.
I don't know what that is even supposed to mean.
I know.
Because you grow. So there's not times where you're growing faster than other times. I don't even think that that's like, I mean, I don't remember the research article. I don't remember if there was just like this pile of evidence behind it, but I don't see how that would be.
No, they said it was something like the supply just wasn't good at certain times. So babies were eating more or something like that. It was weird.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But there's very set dates for growth spurts. And around 6 weeks, around 3 months, like there's just where your baby is going to do more frequent feeding. There might be some fussiness, like they might sleep a little bit more. They're doing some evening cluster feeding still, which they probably started doing around the 2 to 3 week mark. And they might be waking more to eat during the night. Mm-hmm. But this is when parents often think like, do I not have enough milk? Like we're still questioning our milk supply after 6 weeks. Yeah, always questioning the milk supply. But it's totally fine. And this is actually going to increase your supply and help stimulate your production. The more you feed, when babies are in a growth spurt and they're feeding more, your supply is just going to respond to that, which is an amazing thing. You don't have to worry about it. You don't even know what's happening. You just have to keep feeding your baby on demand as they need it. And your supply is just going to do what it needs to do. So you don't even have to worry about it.
Yeah. Your body and your baby are like working together. They're like this it's one thing. Like your milk supply, your baby, the breastfeeding schedule, all of that is just this one thing. And that's what we still need to do an episode on breast sleeping.
Yes.
Because remember, there's like James McKenna is the one who came up with this term breast sleeping. And he said there's not even breastfeeding is not really even a thing. It's breast sleeping.
Which is a fascinating concept.
It's really cool. And it's just this whole, I kind of want to say dance or like a kind of a cycle, but it's just this one thing. Like you're not, like, of course there's issues where like if the baby has issues getting the milk out and like that can be a thing. But like while it's all happening, it's one concept where it's together. It's not like, oh, my baby is doing this and oh, my milk is just disappearing. That's not happening. I'm not saying you're not having issues, but we can work through it if you get help.
Yes, absolutely. And speaking of sleeping, people might be asking you if the baby's sleeping through the night at this point.
Oh my God.
Does your baby sleep like a good baby? Is your baby a good baby?
What the hell?
Your baby's such a good baby.
Oh, my baby's bad.
I know. My baby's naughty. They're up every hour and a half. Like, it's so crazy.
It's crazy.
Good baby to crying and sleeping. If your baby doesn't cry and your baby is sleeping, they're a good baby.
Yeah. So if they're just unconscious and you're not interacting with them, or if they're not having any needs,
right, then they're a good baby. That drives me absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Totally.
Don't compare your baby to other babies. Totally unnecessary worrying is going to come from that. Do not compare. Comparison is evil. Do not compare what your baby is doing to what other babies are doing at the same age, at different ages, at all. Just don't do it. And it's hard because we have this whole social media thing, which can create these really unrealistic expectations. But it is really important to remember that every baby is different. Every baby does different things. Some babies sleep longer than other babies. It's just a way they're developing. Sleep is developmental.
Yeah. Neither one of my kids slept through the night until they were well into toddlerhood. Maybe beyond toddlerhood. Maybe 5 or 6.
Mine did. And then they got to toddlerhood and didn't anymore.
Yeah, that happens too. Yep. There's so much going on. I mean, when they're not sleeping and I have a friend of mine would just say if they're fussy, if there's something going on, if you can't figure it out, we would just be like, Yeah, well, they're either growing or teething.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes you can't figure it out. It doesn't mean something's wrong. It's just, I don't know. They're either growing or they're teething.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they're just cranky sometimes.
Mm.
And that is normal. I mean, babies, they're just little people, right? Like, and we expect them to do all these things, and they just got here and they don't know how to do all these things. So sleep is very developmental. Your baby might not be doing it at 6 weeks. They might be sleeping at 6 weeks just like they did when you brought them home. And that is okay. It might not be okay with you, but it is okay that they're doing that.
Yeah.
So try not to get too worried about it. It is unnecessary. And really, the comparison thing, don't do it. That is going to, it's especially hard if you have like friends. If you have friends that have friends or family members who have babies at the same time, it's really nice because you're going through the same types of things. But they could also be that comparison, and that is really hard. And one of the things I see people compared to all the time is how big their baby is. Well, I put my baby next to my sister-in-law's baby, and my baby's so much smaller.
Are you smaller than your sister-in-law?
Right?
Like, not all people are the same. Not all adults are the same size.
Right. So it's so hard, but it's so important not to compare. All right, we should probably take a break. And we'll talk about the rest of the stuff.
Yes, we'll take a break. Today's episode is brought to you by Cake Maternity. Cake Maternity is a designer of comfortable, functional, and beautiful maternity and nursing bras. As mothers themselves, they understand that no two breastfeeding journeys are alike, like we were just saying. And they've spent over 18 years developing their range of styles, including hands-free pumping bras, supportive nursing sports bras, lace plunge nursing bras, skin-to-skin birthing bras, comfy sleep bras, and everything in between. They also understand the changes our bodies go through during pregnancy and breastfeeding, which is why they cater 28 to 44 band sizes and A through N cup sizes. And shipping from the US now. So regardless of your size, style, or whether you're breastfeeding, pumping, or both, Cake Maternity have done the hard work so you can focus on what's important, nourishing your baby. You could shop their entire range of maternity, nursing, and pumping bras and clothing and accessories at cakematernity.com. That's C-A-K-E like birthday cake, cakematernity.com. Use code BADASS15 for 15% off of your entire purchase. And today's episode is also brought to you by Original Sprout. Original Sprout is offering a new deal with a really cool gift. It is a Badass Breastfeeding Podcast branded hooded towel. You know those little hooded towels that you put on your baby?
My God, they're so cute.
I know. And now
they're get one.
Scroll down into the show notes and you can see a picture of it. This is the towel. You can spend $20 in their store with just $20 on anything of their awesome, amazing products. You'll not have a problem. I was going to say spend $20 on the scrumptious baby cream, but they have other things. And you can use code BADASS. When you use code BADASS, after you spend $20, you will get one of these free towels. Now, if you need more than one or want more than one, they say you can call in and ask. And I don't really know. Where is it? Do they have a phone number?
They got it. On their website.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where the phone. Look on the website because then you can just ask for more. Or maybe in checkout, there's like a way to like add a note. I don't know, but you can get more one. All you have to do is ask. We'll figure out how to ask. But I say ask anyway. Any way you want, any way you can.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a link down below where you can go to down in the show notes where you can head directly to the landing page of this and you can see everything. But you can also just head to Original Sprout. Any way you want to get there, use code BADASS26 and get this towel. It's so adorable. It's actually we have the towels. Don't you have one of the same material? I think it's the same material as the like towels that we got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
It's really like soft and one of those like super absorbent, like microfiber something or other. Anyway, so do that. And today's sponsors and the promo codes can be found in the show notes under this episode, wherever you're listening from. And you can also head to Badass Breastfeeding Podcast, where you will find all of our other episodes, over 500, our favorite resources page, and information about scheduling your very own one-on-one online lactation consultation with Dianne.
Yeah, people do it. I just met with one of our listeners the other day.
Aw.
I know. I love it. I love meeting with listeners.
Yeah.
Okay, so 6 weeks, you might start pumping if you haven't already. A lot of parents have already started pumping at by this time, but if you have to get ready to go back to work at like 3 months, if you're not already back to work, then you probably are starting to pump. So there's all those questions about pumping. When do I pump? How do I pump? When should I introduce a bottle if I haven't done so yet? How much milk should I pump? How much milk does the baby get in a bottle? Like, there's so many questions. Make sure you have a lactation consultant that you're talking to, because that can make the guessing game so much easier. This is also very individualized about pumping. Pumping is different from person to person. So you definitely want to be able to talk to somebody about how this is going to impact you, not how it's going to impact like everybody else you know. Yeah. You do not need a huge freezer stash. I'll tell you that right now. That's another social media thing, is like people having this huge amounts of milk in the freezer. You just don't need to do it.
No.
I mean, I'm working with somebody right now who's like, her baby is like 8 months. She wants to wean off pumping by a year, continue breastfeeding, but wean off pumping at a year. But she's got so much milk in the freezer that she doesn't even know like how to balance out what she's doing with pumping.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like,
well, donate it to a local milk bank.
Yeah, you can do that.
Which we will be hearing about next week, actually, about how you can do that, which literally saves babies' lives.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. And so that's a very good thing to do with if you have a freezer stash. Don't even bother with it. Just donate it.
Yeah.
Like I mean, anyway, I digress, but it's, yeah.
Such a great thing to do. So physically, this has nothing to do with breastfeeding. Physically, you might still be feeling like you got hit by a truck. Like sometimes some people feel great at 6 weeks. Some people do not. If you had like a tear or a episiotomy, you might not be feeling that good still. You might have some pain. If you had a cesarean, you might still be dealing with pain from that. You're just trying to get by and you're tired, like you've got this fragmented sleep, your body still hurts, and they're like, you go to your 6-week postpartum visit and they're like, oh yeah, you can start exercising. Oh yeah, you can have sex again. And you're like, Abby's like, no.
I could not. With Jack, I could not. I had an episiotomy with Jack, and I could not. I mean, that was around the time when I was like trying to walk to Starbucks, which is a few blocks from me. And I got there and I was like, I don't think I can get home. Like the blood was just rushing to my vagina. I was like, I'm going to bleed out here at Starbucks.
Oh my God.
I mean, nothing happened, obviously, but it was really uncomfortable and it was really scary. I'd never had a baby before.
Yeah.
And all those interventions and the induction and all that labor was just depending on what your labor is. And I had, a natural home birth with Exley a few years later. And I mean, there's a picture of me breastfeeding him on a seesaw at 3 weeks.
Oh my God.
What's that called? It's a seesaw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like, it really depends on like what you went through. Cause 6 weeks, who knows how you're gonna do.
You might not feel good still.
Yeah, you really might not. And it's not your fault. It's not like anything that you can do. It's just your body's just needs its own time to heal.
Mm-hmm. And they just slap that 6 week thing on you.
They do. It doesn't even, what is that? That's like the 10,000 steps a day. I'm so sick of hearing about 10,000 steps. I went for a friggin' hike with my kids for like 2 hours at Starved Rock, and I didn't even get 10,000 steps.
Oh my God.
I'm like, how in the world are people supposed to, you just stop your life, I guess, and get 10,000 steps a day? Also,
I know.
Why is it the same for somebody who's 5'2" and somebody who's 6'2"? How is that the same? They just totally make it up.
They do. Totally. I know. Because I'm in this group right now of people that are like this little workout group thing, and they're all like 10,000 steps and all this stuff. And it's like, I have a job.
Right.
Like, I can't just be out there walking constantly.
Yes. Like you have to walk literal, like more than hours to get 10,000 steps up.
Several miles. Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't think that's great. I do think it's great. I think that's fantastic for us. But who has that kind of time?
It's a lot. It's a lot of time. I know. You just don't have it.
And 6 weeks, they just make that shit up. Don't go by. You have to go pay attention to your body. If you feel good, that's great. If you feel still a little off, that's totally normal.
Totally fine. And they're going to talk to you about this. You go to your 6 week postpartum visit. Don't skip it. Definitely go. They're going to talk to you about whether or not you're healing. They're going to talk to you about things like contraception because they're expecting you to have sex again. And if you don't feel like you're ready, that's okay. You don't have to be ready yet.
No.
Most people are not ready at 6 weeks. They're going to talk to you about your mood. Be honest. If you're not feeling right, if you're not feeling like yourself, be honest about that. It's really important that gets addressed.
They might not do anything about it, but...
Right, but it is important to at least...
Yeah. And if they don't do anything about it, then call your insurance and find like an online counseling service. Or they have those like Better Health and like things that are online.
Mm-hmm.
Those are great.
Postpartum Support International has really great resources for parents too. There's definitely lots of things out there. And if you need any help with that, we can also help with that too. But they might ask you about breastfeeding, how breastfeeding's going or how feeding is going. Be honest with them. And sometimes we just want to like yes them just to get out of their office, but it is important to be honest about it. So you might be feeling like a little bit more confident with feeding. We're hoping at the 6 week mark, baby's having some positive changes. You might feel a little bit of relief that things are getting a little bit easier. If things are still hard, you might be feeling a little bit of guilt over that or a little bit of difficulty with that. Make sure you're involved with a lactation consultant. That's really important. Because they're going to help you to not feel so lost. And yeah. And that's about it.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Bye.